1, 2, 3, 4.
In this podcast, you will be here. Knights of Vader, includes, but is not limited to, talk of Star Wars, not ray guns. We can truly prepare for the joke that follows this song, but hey, we gave it a try. So here's the Knights of Vader. Crystal Fox reports they are divided. Prequel, sequel, canon, love they fight. I know that we are just musicians hired, and their time is up. So here's the Knights of Vader.
Impressive. Most impressive.
A big thank you to An Insperiority Complex for providing our theme song. It is a certain month with a certain date. That means there is tomfoolery afoot. But I am Zach Weber, and joining me today is Chris.
Happy to be here to discuss tangentially the origins and creative inspiration of Obi-Wan's death scene.
Yes, I don't even know what that's referencing. And we have Grand Admiral Zenger.
Yes, I'm here for better or for, you know what, it's mostly worse.
And we have Rus.
Yeah, thanks. And before we say anything else, yes, I am seasick, and I did eat grass as a child a lot. Thank you.
Joe wanted me to apologize. He is not part of this recording. He wanted me to say specifically that in preparation for watching the movie that we're about to be discussing, he Googled the wrong name on the toy packaging, and he is now on a federal list because of it. So once we bail him out, we will get him back on. But yes, folks, it is April Fool's Day 2025. In good old Knights of Vader fashion, we're going to be discussing something that has nothing to do with Star Wars, but is tangentially connected to Star Wars. And what better topic would there to be other than Wicked, the 2024 film of both the stage adaptation and the novel? Because good old Jorge himself told the director, John Chu, and I quote, he was still at the mall where he'd just seen the movie. He
That's
couldn't
my
have
favorite
been
part. He FaceTimes him immediately.
We don't know how. He just told him that he was at the mall. And according to John Chu, he continued, he's like, I see all the elements in that movie. I know how hard it is to pull it all together. End quote. Think about how excited good old George must have been at the mall movie theater, in probably less than ideal theater going experience for any of us. It was like, let me get John Chu on the horn and let him know how great Wicked 2024 is. And that's why we're here, because I was trying to convince everybody to watch Fant Four Stick, the Josh Trank film, and Zenger's like, no. And somehow I suggested Wicked, and it caught fire. Don't know why, but it did. And that's it. I wish there were more context.
No, and here we are. Yeah, thanks. And we couldn't figure out if the joke is on us. Are we actually recording this? Did you make us watch this for no reason? This probably. And before I get into it, honestly, I had a little, I guess, a snafu. I thought they already made this movie already, and I asked my wife. I was like, and by the way, she endured this as well. I said, didn't they do this with Angelina Jolie just like a few years ago already? She's like, no. And I'm trying to explain. She goes, no, it was Maleficent. I was like, oh, villain origins.
That's
from
great.
Stories.
That's great.
I actually thought that was it. I'm like, oh yeah, wait, Angelina Jolie wasn't green.
That's great. Like, honey, let's go see the Wicked. No, we already saw Wicked. It was with Angelina Jolie almost a decade ago.
It was close enough. I was like, Maleficent, Wicked, it's all the same.
No, we got Wicked at home. I made a mistake. I accidentally watched the Wicked trilogy, which apparently is watching The Departed, The Town, and for some reason, Daredevil. There is a womp womp in the background for that.
I want to dissect that joke now because I'm curious. Like, I get Departed's Matt Damon, The Town is Ben Affleck, and then Daredevil's also Ben Affleck. So, like, why is it? Why is The Town the bridge?
I guess I should have said Boondocks.
I thought it was Carmen Electra was a third in that one.
They probably share the same ghostwriter.
No, that's Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Zenger, how do you feel about Avengers Doomsday, the important conversation in this Wicked topic on a Star Wars podcast.
I just can't wait to see all the cameos, because that's all this movie's going to be, is just camera to this actor, camera to next. Like, there's going to be nothing going on in the movie. It's just going to be people introducing who they are.
Almost
And
like
then
having
cut to
director's
black.
chairs in front of a camera for 5 hours.
I think it's just going to be gangs of them walking around, because I've been actually paying close attention to this too. Somehow I got sucked back into MCU stuff since seeing the new Cap movie, and so I've been kind of going through all that stuff. But yeah,
Watch Cats.
Cap. I know it's musical. Sorry, yeah. I'm just got a whole musical thing going in here. No, bring it back to the musical. We don't get to get out easy out and talk about the MCU at the beginning, even though I want to too. But this was man, I can remember the last time I watched a musical, like a straight up musical, and then it hit me. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess this can be considered as watching it a direct sequel to The Wizard of Oz, which was a musical, but not like this kind of musical.
No, I've been aware of Wicked forever as a thing. Like, God, like I had family members who were obsessed with The Wizard of Oz, like back in the day. I remember when when this thing first like really blew up about 20 years ago, that it was a big deal for them. Like, again, Wicked's always been around as a concept to me. I remember when they first announced they were making a movie sometime like in the early 2010s. I remember when this movie was originally supposed to come out in 2019. And it just kept getting delayed. Like, this production just started getting delayed. I remember when Ariana Grande was announced and being a little underwhelmed. Like, it's like, oh, really? Like,
was it? Wait, seen the stage play before watching the movie?
No, I've never.
You had all this curiosity and so into it, you still know. Have you any of you seen any of the scenes from the stage play? Because it's one of those things where you're watching going, or this is real stagey. This is definitely, they're pulling straight from the lyrics. I'm sure these songs are beloved at this point.
No, like I never, like that's my thing is like I never, it was always something I was aware of, like as a piece of entertainment, but like I am like Broadway, anything like that's always a blind spot. Like it's a blind spot and also an intentional blind spot. Never have any interest for this sort of thing, period. Again, I respect it, but like I've never watched the Tonys once in my life.
Not even the Book of Mormon, Zach? Come on.
No. Like, again, keep in mind, like I am literally a 90-minute train ride from New York City. And the last 2 times I went to New York City was one for a unbuilt Disney attraction seminar, and then to go see the Electrolyte in a theater. Like, that's like, again, 90-minute train ride. Literally, I can go to the city for $20 via train.
Couldn't make it out for Spider-Man a few years ago. You had no interest in that.
Nope,
what was
that's
it
not
called?
a priority.
Turn Off the Dark.
Oh God, what was her name? That's
You
Julie.
did that movie.
Oh God, what was it?
Izar or something like that.
Yes, who did Across the Universe, the movie Across. Yes. Oh yeah, where everybody kept getting injured. I don't even think they ever got to like actual public like.
No, it
consumption.
had a bit of a stride where it went on. You too did all the music.
Julie Traymore. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's who she was.
Yeah, people got hurt all the time. It was always in the news because Spider-Man was always flying off the ceiling and falling in the crowd and breaking people's legs. Like, yeah, it was a great train wreck.
P.T. Barnum would be so proud.
They should have got that robot Spider-Man from the theme park, man. That would be a lot safer.
That's the problem. Julie Traymore was ahead of her time, Chris. Anyway, though, yes, not even a Book of Mormon. So I think out of all of us, I'm the only one who actually saw and paid to go see Wicked in a theater. And for the first 15, 20 minutes, I almost fell asleep as to how dry it was. I'm like, oh no, is it going to be this type of movie, this type of adaptation? And then about, I'd say 30 minutes in, I think once Professor Goatman showed up that I started to get involved with this, where I'm just like, oh, okay, like we're finally getting some like meat on the bones. And then it was when, I think it was Jonathan Bailey, his like first musical number starts like in the library. I'm like, I like the choreography.
The guy, when he shows up, yeah, I mean, everything kind of livens up then. But I mean, I don't know why. This is probably like the most accessible musical you could just, all right, I'll jump in and watch. Everyone has seen The Wizard of Oz. Like, all you know is, okay, it just happened. They're singing about this, and here we go. But something about it, and I had a real moment when, you're talking about the go-comes. He starts talking. I'm going, what? Wait, why are the animals talking such an issue? And I wasn't going to say anything because I felt stupid. And I was, because I looked at my wife and I said, I was like, wow, okay, what's up with the talking animals? I don't remember that in Wizard of Oz. She goes, You don't remember The Cowardly Lion? And I was like, but actually first she said, you don't remember the chicken in Return to Oz? I was like, no, I know you love that movie. A lot of people. Do y'all have any love for Return to Oz?
The scary Disney movie?
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yeah, and it's much better than the forgettable one with that guy who's canceled that I don't remember whatsoever.
Oh, James Franco?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was actually waiting for him. I was like, where's Oz? He's going to come in. Because I was like, no, I know I had seen that. I was reminded of that in there too. But yeah, but they do. I was sitting with kind of a Return to Oz expert, and when they were naming all the teachers at one point, my wife goes, that was a reference to Return to Oz. That was the lady whose face is all changed. She gets name dropped in the film early on. Some deep cut, Laura. Yeah, this is what you'll get. We're talking about musicals. Sorry.
Man, Russ was just waiting for this moment. All these years of like he's like, come for the Star Wars nonsense, stay for the potential musical talk 5 years after being involved with this. But yeah, no, the thing that made me, I remember because I saw this movie by myself. My girlfriend was in South Carolina visiting family. And like, I told her I saw it without her, and she's like, oh, you saw this without me? I'm like, you're not that type of person. Like, you don't like this sort of thing. But she's like, well, what'd you think? I'm like, I enjoyed it, but not because like anything in it was like exceptional. I enjoyed it because it was palpable, the excitement of everybody involved with this movie enjoying making it. Like, you could just tell every part of the production was enthused to be there and was giving it their all. And I'm like, that's rare for blockbuster cinema nowadays. Everybody feels like they are begrudgingly making something. It felt like, to me anyway, because Chris is like wincing and like giving me the side eye. This felt like the people involved were excited to be involved. And I know, like, if you go back to any of like Ariana Grande's like comments before she was even involved with this, she's like, I will make this movie for free. Like, I will be involved free of charge to the production. And it's nice to see people that clearly were enthusiastic about the source material, considering like how long this movie had been like in development hell, actually, like, again, and for it to be cohesive. I think that goes without saying when it comes to blockbuster cinema, considering how half of these adaptations are half-baked and cynical cash grabs. This felt like something that people wanted to make. It wasn't just a contractual obligation.
I wish we would have tricked an Frank Baum expert to be on the show with us today, because I have so many lore questions based on this film that, like, as a non-book reader of the original Wizard of Oz series, which I think would be a tough read now, like, there's so many things that I had trouble with, like what kind of school is this? What's the point of it? It's not Hogwarts, but there's one magic class, but the rest of the time they're just learning about regular stuff. Yeah,
what are they? Because they're like so like backwards in a lot of ways, where they're like, it's like an old schoolhouse like that they would have in the olden days when the book came out, where everyone's just piled into the barn, doesn't matter what age you are. That guy looks like he's 30. He comes dancing in like he's the cock of the walk and everything. What's his name? Like Zenger's about to, oh God.
Oh no, I as punishment have turned on the Flash.
No, don't you dare. Your assignment is to rewatch all the Snow White marketing throughout this, because you didn't watch this movie. That is your punishment, sir.
I thought punishment enough would be watching the Flash movie, which
the Flash movie's solid enough. It's not punishment.
No, it isn't.
You should have Wicked on for sure. You should be asking questions right now like, wait, I thought the Munchkins were a certain way. I didn't know they were Irish.
Put Return to Oz on.
I would, but apparently I have Paramount, not Peacock. Who knew?
Nobody has Peacock. I think we had to buy it on Amazon rent it for a couple days or something like that. But yeah, I took issue with. I guess they were trying to correct something with the Munchkins, and these are all Irish people. They're some are tall, some are small.
At least they used real Irish people, unlike this Snow White thing I'm being forced to watch.
Which that's so funny you mentioned that. Like, when I heard Peter Dinklage as the goat, all I thought of was how he ruined Snow White.
And he ruined this. There was no Munchkins. It wouldn't have played. We're not going to have a single Munchkin in that movie if Peter Dinklage agrees to be Professor Goat. There's no way.
That can't be a coincidence. I won't believe it.
They're like, no, we were always just going to make them redheaded men from Munchkin land. That's where they're from. They're just redheaded men and women.
it really made me want to watch The Wizard of Oz again. Like I watched it with my girlfriend, and they at the beginning where they recap like the witch's death, like she was like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm like, I thought everyone just remembers the entire plot of The Wizard of Oz in detail for the rest of their lives after watching it. I guess some people just omit it from their brain, but she was very confused by that intro.
Well, I also had to explain to my wife after watching the movie. So that means the girl in the wheelchair just got a house dropped on her. Is that what we're supposed to believe? Because we know that the Wicked Witch's sister is in a wheelchair, and she's going to have to become a magician. She's the only sister that girl has. So Dorothy pretty much dropped a house on a wheelchair girl. Like, how does that work?
Was it a flying wheelchair by that point in time?
And I didn't know this was part one. What the... Okay, and this is a lot of actual parallels to Star Wars. For a while, I thought I was watching episode 1, the way it was so, quick lore. Then I realized we're watching episode 3 by the end of it. It like goes from being episode 1, and then you got that when they're dancing on the bookshelves. That's the episode 2 segment of the movie. When he shows up as episode 2, it gets very strange.
That's the Hayden Christensen moment in the film.
But the end is very much she becomes, Darth Wicked. She can use the Force. She can, she got a broom instead of a lightsaber, and then it ends. And I know it said part 1 in the very beginning of it, but I thought that was like some kind of theater joke or something.
Same. I
thought it would be like part 2 would be in the middle of the movie, as this is one contained thing. Okay, I see we're scrolling through some stills here.
Yeah.
And yes, Jeff Goldblum. What an Oz, huh?
He just seems asleep at the wheel these days, if you ask me. I don't know.
He's just playing. He's doing Jeff Goldblum, which is what everybody wants him to do.
But yeah, I was also very disappointed to see part 1 and also the runtime because I rented it on Xbox.
It was so long. I hit the wire, man, because I could only do like 40 minutes or something at a time. And I just hit it the first time, and we both had to look at each other like, all right, we need a little break.
I did see the play, but it was like so long ago that like I only have like vague memories of like set design and stuff. But I mean, when I got to the end of this, I was like, why do they need a part 2? This pretty much gets you to where you need to be. Like, I don't.
Well, part 2 is where it gets weird. You read up like the synopsis of like the story, like after this. Oh, that's where it gets weird. It gets like Twilight Breaking Dawn part 2 weird.
Like, did they retcon her death? Is that what happens? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like, is she not?
Like, not to tip my hand too far, but yeah, it's they have their cake and eat it too.
Oh, is that why they even showed it? Is there going to be some kind of fake? And what is it going to be like a Rise of the Planet of the flying monkeys and stuff like that? Because she's trying to. Are they considered cool? Like the teachers, the monkeys, like. Are they, were they nice before that? And are all the animals going to get along? Or maybe just a separate movie where the bad monkeys go fight all the smart talking cheetahs and stuff?
Well, so Zenger, if you know anything about monkeys, they're all dirtbags in real life. Like, there's no such thing as a nice monkey in nature. So that's why these monkeys are jerks.
I've seen Planet of the Apes. So I'm supposed to believe that Gal Gadot is jealous?
Oh, okay, that's the most...
Oh, wait, that took me a second. I was like, wait, which one was Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot is jealous of Rachel Zegler's acting abilities.
Zenger, that's such a pre-release meme. Okay, there's way.
Yeah, I mean, you're forcing me to watch these trailers on repeat, and my God, I'm
glad the top comments open on your YouTube.
I do. I have to.
We should make Zenger read. Like every 5 minutes, we should make Zenger read like a Letterboxd or IMDb review of Snow White.
Oh, please.
Or just watch all the mainstream publications like painfully shill for Disney.
No. Make Zenger go back to Saddam Hussein when he did his Last Jedi review for us. Go dig up IMDb and Letterboxd reviews of Snow White. That's your job. Like, find the most comical one.
I was actually talking about Saddam Hussein last night. That is so strange. Zach Baggins bought his sweater and hat for his museum. Anyway.
Wow. Look at that. That's Return to Oz, Cowardly Lion, not original movie Cowardly Lion.
Well, because they can't use that because they have to give MGM. Think about it, Chris, because the original Wizard of Oz is MGM, which is now Amazon. So if you use any of that iconography, they got to write Bezos a check.
and no one wants to do that.
That's the reason why no Wizard of Oz like adaptation outside of the 39 film is able to do the ruby slippers, because you have to write it, because that is
is that why
the original,
they look like they were made of metal and super uncomfortable?
Yes, that's what the ruby slippers are exclusive to the MGM adaptation, and that's why no other anything will ever touch that, because like to license out the ruby slippers, not like just as a concept, is like astronomically cost prohibitive.
Zach, I know it's April Fool's, but you're telling me that an online casino owns the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Like, it took me a second to get that, but yes.
I played the wizard slots. Those things are pretty loose. But I like that we finally get the origin of the yellow brick road. Like, I actually have been wondering. I'm like, why was it yellow and brick? Like, maybe it could have been red, or like, what was that necessary in this movie at all? That's
a member berry. Yeah.
I love the fact that like the Munchkin town is like all ready for the witch to die. Like they have the signs ready, they have the banners, they have a giant wicker man just primed and ready to explode.
They had that effigy just super nice and cool, but just rustic looking enough to burn down. It was great.
Dude, when Ariana Grande lit that thing on fire, that was like the most cold-blooded thing ever, until you realize they retconned her death in part 2.
Yes, it's fun. It's funny. Like it's.
See, I don't know this, so now I'm shattered. I'm going. I thought she was gone. Maybe we do need another movie.
Yeah, well, it's classic deconstructionist cinema, Russ. You know, the villains are all really just misunderstood. You know, no one's ever a real like the witch is not actually Saddam Hussein. That's what you have to understand.
That's why I thought it was like Maleficent. I guess didn't they do the same thing?
Next year, 2026 April Fool's Day, we'll do Maleficent. It's a leapfrog in topics. It's just like. How like
I thought part 2 would be out by then and we would just torture ourselves further.
Only if George Lucas calls John Chu again. That's the only reason why we're doing this.
Yeah. You really
figured we have to do Snow White at this rate.
No, Zenger. This is your personal hell to be in, not ours.
Oh God, these comments. I worry.
We assign Zenger this, and at the end of the hour, Zenger's become a complete like misogynistic racist. It's like,
yeah. At the end of the hour.
Of course. I'm not like that.
Well, you know who is actually evil in this movie? The wizard himself. He is totally unredeemable character.
I thought they retconned him to be the worst. Like, oh, no, the witch is actually awesome. That's why the hat, the whole thing. The things that are I guess that is part of the lore of this, and I don't know that at all, that they're like that. I guess you can't make her sympathetic and have the wizard be awesome, because people will be like, well, I still just love the wizard. I don't care about you.
The wizard's just putting animals in concentration camps. Basically, that's his big overarching plan in this movie. And I don't know, there's some correlation between animals losing their rights and also losing their ability to speak at the same time, which is, I guess, a thinly veiled metaphor for access to communication technology or something. I don't know I don't know how that works, but Peter Dinklage is a goat professor who's like losing his ability to articulate in good quality.
So you keep saying that he's a goat, like a literal goat.
Yeah, like the Cowardly Lion's a lion guy. Just a goat is a teacher. Yes. He is.
Okay, cool.
And he bleeds.
Imagine Professor McGonagall, but if she were a goat.
All the time. Anyways, Jenna, verified reviewer. I guess on Rotten Tomatoes you can't give it anything less than a like half star. Horrible B-rate, low budget looking. Wow, it was literally the worst movie I've ever seen. Not a single redeeming quality. My 8-year-old told me it was so boring she would have rather waited until it came on TV.
That's not harsh enough, probably. But,
I'm working on it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm digging.
I mean, don't those CGI dwarfs truly look horrific? Anyway,
I'm so glad they wasted all the money to make Stitch look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was the trade-off. We either got good Snow White or good Stitch.
There was
choice. The Rings successfully years ago, but
there was a tweet from this 8-year-old girl who's playing Lilo that was like congratulating Rachel Ziegler on the release of Snow White, and like all the comments were like, "There's a kid who knows how to listen to her PR manager."
Well, she apparently went like dressed as Snow White to see it and everything. And I'm like, you know what? Good for her.
Same.
You weren't dressed as Snow White to see it?
No, I went to go see. Yeah, of course.
I went dressed as Snow White to see Wicked.
I'm dressed as Malevolent. Yeah, and I was like, and I'm just realizing. I just realized that George Lucas, he loves the word wicked, so he was already biased going in here. Or wizard. Sorry, wizard. He likes wizard, and they say the word wizard a lot in this movie. Like, that's wizard. The wizard is wizard. I remember that was like one of my favorite lines. I was like, oh, that's why Lucas likes it.
So do we to actually keep this back to the movie itself? Like, yes, like, so what is the plot to this movie other than like green woman, not bad. Like, don't judge a book by its cover, because like at no point in this movie, like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. Chris, maybe you remember, maybe Russ remembers. Zenger definitely doesn't remember.
Stupid. She looks so
never.
Do you guys remember they used to give those specials like in the early 2000s, like AFI's, like 100 years, 100 thrills, AFI's like top heroes and villains? Like, you guys remember any of those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Russ. So like one of the things that like I remember was like going back to the original 39 film was that like Glinda the Good Witch was like almost like the fantastic equivalent of Atticus Finch from oh my god, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Hold on. It looks so AI towards the video thing. There's a poster of the witch. It says "Beware me." That looks so cheap. I don't know. Sorry.
You say that, but
no, Chris is doing like a slideshow. It's like a PowerPoint presentation in real time for us. But I remember actually, like the idea of like Glinda the Good Witch being like infallible, like the idea that like she is the personification of pure distilled. I don't want to say good, but like she's meant as a force of pure, just like pureness. Like, and as I was watching this, there's no reason to like her unless you're already endeared to the character of Glinda. Like, I don't find her like if you just watch this cold and you go in, I thought she had moments where she seemed like just almost like it was like I don't know, like one of those like female college movies like Mean Girls or something with her. But then like blonde.
Legally blonde, but she was, but also they tried to make her a little bit of both. Like, they made her endearing, they also made her totally awful at times. But it went so back and forth where you are always still sympathetic to her. Like, she bullies her in a way, but then she's nice. Oh yeah, the bear. I forgot about the bear nanny as well.
Yes, there's a bear. That's our first taste of the animals, is the bear nanny. Thank you, Chris. Chris is like prepared for the assignment, man. Like, he just cycles through the images and it's right there.
This is just the lovely selection of screenshots that IMDb has provided in its ultimate wisdom.
So in the stage show, was there a guy dressed like a bear walking around? Like, I'm guessing that was all part of it, right? Oh boy, those are the shots I want to see. That's what I kind of I've missed out on. Just find some screenshots of the actual the theater production. That's what I want to see.
That's good.
If you've seen The Lion King, you get the idea.
Oh, it's really that pedestrian level?
Just big like 2D masks and like black undersuits and stilts and whatnot.
That's so fun. But no, so like as I'm watching this, like, again, like I like as somebody who like I don't want to say I grew up with Ariana Grande. I remember when she was like on Victorious on Nickelodeon channel, like, and plus her music career. I'm like going into this, I'm like, okay, like I can see the casting of her being Glinda, but like as the character's written, the character is for the most part kind of unlikable. Like, she's your typical, again, like Russ was saying, it's like, oh, it feels like a college, like buddy, like odd couple, like relationship. I get that. But outside of like when Glinda kind of has her moment of like, oh, wow, like maybe I shouldn't humiliate this person at like the campus party. But even when she gets on the train to go to the Emerald City, it's like, oh, like that entire thing, like, oh no, I'm changing my name from Golinda to Glinda because Professor Goatman, like, he couldn't pronounce my name correctly. I'm like, is this real?
I was not following that whole thing when it was going on. Like, no, it's Golinda. I was like, she's just messing with this goat because he can't say the name. I really thought that. And that's when the moment I was like, yeah, that was the way you're like, she's terrible. And then it was like, I'm changing my name from, and I was like, well, your really name is Golinda? I was lost for all that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, again, Ariana Grande is doing exactly what she's being told to do. It's no slight to her, but the character is written in a way that it's designed for her to be unlikable. If it weren't for Ariana Grande casting, I think people would not have latched on to. I think that casting is probably half the reason why this movie works, because she is giving it a level of attention that the script does not in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it relies a lot on the music too. That's what makes it hard for me. I talky songs that like go on and like aren't really necessary. That's why this movie is so long. About 10 to end, I was like, knock it off on singing. You would just calm down and just done like, or just said the one thing. We're going to this club tonight. It doesn't take a half hour to say we're going out to the best club, and we're not even going to have as much fun as we are talking about going to this club. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. Like things like that. But I know, but then again, it's a musical. Like that's what it does. I know it's not for me. Those kind of things, these long singy things. So I guess that's why musical is such a hard thing. I mean, did they drag these things out longer than even the stage show was? They had to, right? People weren't,
because there's no way the stage play might be 3 hours. It ain't 6 though. I don't know. They're doing a part 2 of this.
Well, that's the thing, is that most of the iconic songs are in part 1. Like part 2 is going to have most of the stuff that they've had to like, I don't want to call it filler, but when it comes to musical numbers, it is 100% things they created for the film.
Wicked be a witch tonight. Please be a witch tonight.
Is this like a situation where the like they're trying to amortize the production design and all that stuff? Like it really doesn't justify a second film, much like The Hobbit, but like it's you know.
Boy, you're right. The Hobbit was like a trilogy too, wasn't it?
Oh God,
that's insane.
Unnecessarily.
We all forgot about. Yeah, we're like, we do not have time for that. Show some respect and let everyone enjoy Lord of the Rings. You don't need to make a second trilogy. We already got those in Star Wars.
The Desolation of Smaug.
I for the life of me, I can't remember what part 2 was, but I'm sure you guys are right.
I think it was the,
no, it's the Desolation
the barrels
of
of the movie.
Smaug.
Look, check out these opium fields, guys.
Yeah, they were throwing around poppy. That was always the thing. Like when you find that out in high school, like, you know, like that's like she's like on heroin in that field or whatever. Like, whoa, no way. And then they're like referencing it as like poppies flying around. Like, oh yeah, I guess you can make these drug references.
All right, so that timer going off means these are from the trailer, since I am being forced to watch it on loop. Savage Son says, I told my boss at work I saw Snow White. He gave me 3 days off for self-care.
Solid enough joke.
Rude. Yeah, that's what
the U.S. military should use this for interrogation tools.
Oh, that's a womp womp.
Those guys would love it. Yeah. What are you talking about? That's the easiest torture ever. That's fine.
They finally did it. They made a movie. Nobody is going to pirate.
That's pretty good.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Write that one down, Zenger. That's a good one.
My finger is exhausted from liking all these comments. Mirror, mirror on my screen, can this trailer be seen? No dwarfs were harmed or hired in the making of this film.
But just interesting that Peter Dinklage didn't try to get anybody. Oh God, were there?
He didn't try to get. He's probably got another role in it where he's like, well, I'm just over here. I'm the voice of this guy.
You know what? I think he's getting out of this a little too easy. I think Rachel Ziegler's taking the brunt of the blame, and I think he's like at least 30% responsible. You know, he's like basically a Rachel Ziegler, Peter Dinklage. We shouldn't let him off the hook so easy.
And no one is, which is funny. I think I saw a meme earlier. It was him and the other guy, that guy that was like the he was like I think he was a Chinese guy who was a voice actor, and he said he was the one who said only people of that race should get that be playing a person of that race. And now he complained that he can't get any jobs because they only want him to be like a Chinese voice actor. And he's like, you're like, what? You thought you were the exception to it? And it was him and Dinklage together, kind of being, you know, trying to help, thinking they're being very helpful, and in fact, hurting a bunch of people and themselves. Well, if you could name one dwarf that Dinklage would be, who would you like him to be?
Grumpy.
Oh, couldn't be Doc? He would want to be Doc, the leader, right?
He would want to be, but we all would appreciate him as Grumpy.
Is there like an alcoholic dwarf that could like line up with his Game of Thrones character?
Oh, I thought we said like we're gonna keep casting this. Like Gary Oldman will be Snoozy. We can have Jason Weeman and
Surly.
Oh
Yes.
no! Johnny Knoxville as the one.
Well, I thought Gary Oldman's already played a dwarf in that movie, didn't he?
I guess.
Two Shoes or something like that. I forget what the movie is called.
Okay, I got
God.
2 more, and then I'll let you guys get back to your Wicked. My phone didn't just die watching this; it took its own life.
Oh wait, I finally figured out your joke from earlier because everyone in Boston says Wicked, and it's a Wicked film.
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
The Affleck thing comes all together.
There you go. Disney coming to a theater near you. Me. Hello 911. Coming. Oh, fine. I got one more because this is what I meant to read. Coming to a theater near you. Me. Filing restraining orders. All right, you guys can go back to it.
All
I'll
right,
keep looking. And watch.
The drunk dwarf is Surly. Remember Zenger from The Simpsons?
That's from Duff Beer.
Deep cut.
Thank you. I want to know that at work today I said the phrase "everything's coming up Millhouse" and someone literally let out an audible "ha."
That's great. And yeah, as you were saying this, I was getting distracted looking at this frame. If you look at the top right, it looks like a Simpsonized version of the Wicked Witch at that one house. But anyway, it's got the hat and everything.
I can really see it.
I just, but I mean this whole scene of the effigy. I mean, I didn't realize the retcon until I was just talking with you guys about her death. So like, I mean, that was pretty hard, man. I thought that was cool. It's like the green lady must have done something to genuinely cheese off Ariana Grande to the point where she's very happy that she's dead. But I forgot the musical.
She's like, oh, it was a long time ago. It's like, how much old? You look exactly the same as you do throughout the whole movie. Like, we need more timeline. Yeah, and does she terrorize the Munchkin community, the Wicked Witch? We know they're all scared of her at the beginning of Wizard of Oz. So what else are you gonna do? Just fly around? Is that enough?
Yeah, I think she she'd fly around and like throw pumpkin bombs at them.
She goes all Green Goblin on that.
That was in the Spider-Man stage play too. They got to put that. That was part of the stage plays.
Whew. That's
Oh,
good, Chris.
so
10 comedy
spooky.
points.
Well, I think in the original movie she has like flame balls that she does throw at one point. They're pretty much pumpkin bombs.
Pretty much.
What's the mask?
The
mask from Spider-Man based off of the Wicked Witch?
It's from Maximum Overdrive.
I mean, he definitely.
Wow, comedy gold tonight on Knights of Vader.
I'm sure there is a Willem Dafoe Wicked Witch reference in that movie. Like, I'm positive there is. I just can't remember what exactly it was.
And so what did you guys think of the wizard's visage or whatever, the wizard's image? It wasn't the smoky floating head like in Wizard of Oz. He had like, oh yeah, there you go, the giant CG weird head thing that was around. I thought interesting, even though it doesn't have the same effect. We're like, we know the wizard's fake. This is what you just chose to show him as. We already know this is not even close to real.
Yeah,
but
this
that's
is basically
just Jeff Goldblum.
Yes,
that's like at his house.
Really was. So when I was like, why does this thing look like Jeff Goldblum? Because I didn't know. I went in completely blind to this movie. I haven't been following it for years and anything.
You missed the giant Jeff Goldblum statue at the beginning of the movie, I guess.
I saw it, but I was like, why does that look like him? I thought maybe, and then I should have realized, oh, it's Disney, and Jeff Goldblum does all his Disney stuff. He did that whole show that's on Disney Plus about
Russ,
shoes.
this isn't Disney.
Disney didn't do this one?
No, this is Universal. That's why it's.
Yeah, I forgot we talked about that. We talked about MGM and them. Okay.
This is like a worse version of like the Super Nintendo Chalmers at the end of Skeleton Crew.
Man, we're just lobbing bombs left and right over here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't stop thinking about the idea that at some point they're gonna drop a house on a paraplegic woman. Like I can't stop thinking about that. That's like haunting my thoughts right now.
Well, that death is probably retconned to Zack because
100%. Because you are aware that the Jonathan Bailey character, what's he called? I'm not even gonna try pronouncing it. He's the cowardly lion, or maybe not.
What?
No, hold on a sec.
Him?
No.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I forgot. We get a little. Maybe he's the Tin Man.
He might be. He might be the Tin Man. He might be the Tin Man. Sorry.
Oh, he gets turned. Maybe because the Tin Man had some moves and new songs and stuff too, so it might make sense. Does he ever use an axe in this movie? I didn't pay attention. Oh, maybe in the second one, yeah, he starts axing people up. See, that doesn't. This frame here alone is like this. The last thing. If you watch it, I would like to take someone from back in time that just got out of the theater. I'm like, do you want to see the sequel? And they're like, oh, certainly, good chap. And when you go sit in the theater with George Lucas, you take him to our time.
Well,
No. That one image. Go back. Yeah, that's from that Star Trek movie, the remake with the pretty boys.
Yeah, the one scene that everybody in the
Zack gets
crew,
it.
Everybody apologized for that scene after it came out. Zinger. That's the one scene that they didn't stand by. But
okay.
Yeah, but
She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Yeah, I remember there was a quote
Perfect.
from what's her name who plays the witch in this, Zach. You know these things.
Her name is Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba.
I saw one quote from her where like she was talking about they gave her the choice at the start of production if she wanted to wear green makeup or have it done in CGI, and she like.
Or they say or eat grass. Oh, like, that'd been cool.
She opted for the green makeup because it was like a method acting sort of thing. Like she wanted, as if people would be like, as if the grips and gaffers would like mean mug her just for being green on set, and that would help her get into character. If they were brave enough to do that,
Right. And if you want to have a convincing look when you appear on Sesame Street, reprising the role of the Wicked Witch or whatever, you'd have to they have to look normal in the makeup. Speaking of lost media, we were talking about that earlier. There you go. That was
they found that. They
found it. I know. That was great that they found that. Yes, the Wicked Witch appeared on Sesame Street. I guess it was so traumatic that it was never played again. But they found it.
Yeah, I saw her on Mr. Rogers, but I haven't seen the Sesame Street one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Oh wait, Jonathan Bailey's character turned into the Scarecrow.
There you go.
Really?
And
I got it wrong.
I didn't even think about things like that would happen in this movie. So that's great. That's actually great.
And he never elaborates on his. It's like he's basically R2-D2 in the original trilogy, never elaborating on his deeply entangled backstory into with the relevant current events. It's like, come on, you were like dating the Wicked Witch for a while, Scarecrow. Is that what we're trying to understand here?
Well, who's the Tin Man then? Is that maybe there's a different wizard? Maybe we get to see the Jeff Goldblum becomes a Tin Man, and James Franco shows up on his Green Goblin sled and becomes. He takes the reins. He had a break on something.
Russ, come on. James Franco doesn't ride a sled. He rides a snowboard in Spider-Man 3.
That was pretty radical.
For 2007, it was super rad.
Yeah, they do a lot of work to make it. The parts where they're trying to match the old timiness, like some parts work, some parts didn't. I mean, when you get into a part with that giant spinning bookshelf dance move, that was when it was like, whoa, like that. That's a move because I watched this after knowing the Lucas quote. I'm like, all right, what is he so enamored with putting all this together and scenes like that? I'm like, all right, that was the most elaborate, unnecessary dance talk I've ever seen. So I guess props. There he is, the Scarecrow himself.
Yeah, I mean, if you really analyze the most scant paraphrased Lucas quote ever, he's really just praising the production design, not anything else.
I don't know, man. That man, he has to respect the CGI usage. Like, he must be like, you guys ever see that clip of like Steven Spielberg at one of the like award ceremonies, this like award season, and like he's looking back, watching it like the camera set up because he's just curious as to how they're shooting the award ceremony. Like, I don't know. I think Lucas still has appreciation for the craft. And I wouldn't be shocked if him seeing something like this would just tickle his fancy.
Yeah, it's big, and he knows it. It's his realm. I mean, he basically made our Wizard of Oz by, like, you know, as far as, like, you know, collectible nature and worship and stuff like that. So,
oh man, I just want to recapture the magic I had out in P.F. Chang's. They had the General So's chicken, and I just really wanted to capture that magic all over again.
Well,
it really didn't capture the magic though.
Like I said at the beginning, you know, like Obi-Wan's death is the Wicked Witch's death, and when Palpatine shows up and Empire Strikes Back, that's the Wizard of Oz. Man, he's a giant hologram head who's not actually as big and imposing as he actually looks.
And R.I.P. Original Emperor Monkey Eyes passed on, or at least the voice, right? Man, that voice was
Rebel.
Clive Rebel. I consider that voice like real important to me as a kid. That's all the Emperor you had for a little while. And
I hate to say it, but my reaction to that was like shock that he was still alive until the day before. I thought for some reason I thought that guy was long gone, but I guess he was like deep into his 90s or something. So would out of the acting sphere for a long time probably.
Yeah, so I came in and I told MGM I wanted to make my own Wizard of Oz, and they told me no. So I said I'll do it in space.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I wanted my own Wizard of Oz, and so I made Red Tails.
No, I'm just trying to make the thing that Star Wars was just him trying to make Wizard of Oz, but in space.
Yeah, you got it. Think about it. A girl and a cowardly Wookiee and a Tin Man and a Scarecrow. Luke's a Scarecrow. Han's a Tin Man. Chewbacca is.
See, he
Toto.
gets it. He gets my order from China.
Wait, is Toto R2D2? Like, are we? I mean, is it a little closer than I thought? Actually.
It just sounds more intellectual if you say you're remaking the Hidden Fortress rather than Wizard of Oz. That's all it is.
You know, if you listen to Hidden Fortress while you watch Wizard of Oz, it's pretty trippy. Yeah, it's trippy. It lines up at this one specific. I don't want to ruin it.
Wow.
Perfect.
All right. Was there any particular musical number or anything anybody liked? Like, again, I liked the Jonathan Bailey library sequence. I liked Defying Gravity at the end. Cynthia Erivo belting out that last number as her like cape gets comically longer and longer with every single kind of like pass she makes at like the Wizard's fortress. I laughed at that, but I thought it was cool. Yes, thank you, Chris. Like that cape gets longer and longer every single time she does like it's like the equivalent of like going around Adat Walker on Hoth. Every single turn, like that cape got longer and longer. I like that. Good number. Like, again, like by the time this movie ended, I should say, like, yes, we're doing this as a hearty har, but like I'll be there for Wicked Part 2 in November. Like they've got my money. Like I enjoyed this. I thought it was solid.
Wait, when is it coming out?
November.
This
trailer out in a couple days, I think.
Look, if Megan 2 is out at the same time, I can't make that same promise. We'll see. I'm there. Okay, that's literally the one movie. I saw this big list of like, is this all the upcoming horror movies in theaters next year? And I was like, all of them. I had to stop at Megan 2. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Russ is like, how good is Wicked? Is it Wicked good or Megan 2 good?
Oh man, I can't imagine that's the dance numbers I like. Is the one in Megan. That was my favorite dance number before this movie. I guess I like the song when those two were walking around Emerald City. I don't know. Some of them were one of those things like I realized long songs like this are just. And I realized another thing. I probably like that one because I don't like musical useless side characters that you have to look over to. The nerdy friends who are always there. Like they had that in Grease and all that other stuff. There's always those couple of goofy side characters that they do that so people have different roles in high school. You know what I mean? Like those were kind of useless characters. They don't do anything. You know, you always have to cast some nerd as what Pinky or whoever. So those I hate the characters like that. So again, in the musical, people care about these two. Yeah, you can't even find them in this thing. They're not even going to be in here because they are just useless musical side characters who are just friends of Ariana Grande, her little followers. Who she treats them worse than because they just have to believe whatever she says. All right, fine.
Man,
There you go.
I
The
forgot
classic
to ask.
Munchkin.
I forgot to ask. I mean, did anyone have to be in a musical in high school from this group, or was in a
Elementary school, yes, not middle school or high school.
No, closest I got was doing a musical number of Love Potion number 9. The song.
I think I did some video projector graphics for Les Miserables in high school, but I did not have to participate beyond that. Thankfully.
We are not theater kids. All of us can stamp that one.
Hold on. I was the constable in Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Force Awakens. I was like Constable Zuvio.
And I was
Zenger.
Yeah, exactly. It was great.
New title. He's been demoted from Grand Admiral. Constable Zenger. It's even better.
And then the next year we did Bye Bye Birdie, and I was just one of the parents because unfortunately I played soccer in high school, and our soccer coach was also the director of all the theater stuff. So
I thought you were gonna say I also had a beard. I was like, well, yeah, you have to be one of the parents. You have a beard.
Yeah. No, they and our coach was basically like, hey, you guys that are on the soccer team, you're all going to be helping with this as background or whatever extras. And unfortunately, I got put into the role of the constable for Fiddler on the Roof. Did not have to sing, thank God.
Looking through these pictures, you found the goat. I don't think we had seen him. Yeah, there.
Oh, wait, there's the goat. Oh,
yeah, there you go. There's Peter Dinklage character right there.
I can see it.
Professor Billy Goat.
Yes,
I can see it. Also, back to the comment section. My favorite character was the bird. It was the only one to have enough common sense to fly away.
Oh, they're saying Bye Bye Birdie. I'm like, that's a Kane from Citizen Kane kind of level. I was like, I'm getting confused for that.
Oh my God, it's the bird from Bye Bye Birdie.
Hey, you know what's kind of weird? Like, this is like, this and Snow White kind of both make me want to watch the superior version from the 30s.
Yeah, really. And look, can I just do the last sentence reference, please? Look at this goat. The glasses, they do nothing. I've never understood why he even had them on. They're like a plot point. He loses them at one point or drops them.
And he can't see without them?
No, that they're at a good angle to
look down.
Yeah, they're reading glasses. You got the book right there. It's for close range.
I can see it. Ha ha.
Oh, Dinklage.
So what is that? The lawnmower that goes through the?
That is Padme's ship to return.
I can see it. That's a lot of gears. I feel like
I'm not gonna lie, that train's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's Wizard of Oz. That's Return to Oz. Weird. Everything is gears. Like gears are everywhere. There was like a. Yeah.
Like I will say, like at some point, Universal will make a theme park land devoted to all this. Like that is a fait accompli.
Yeah, Ozland. There they are. Those were the two I was talking about. These two are like the worst side characters. They bring nothing. They have no arc. They're just annoying people, but they had to be there.
Why does that one chick look like somebody I can't remember that actress.
Is this Rachel from the Revenge of the Sith like viewing party 20 years ago?
Yes. No, I was gonna say it looks like Rebel Wilson. Stunt double.
She
probably is.
Stunt double. You gotta let me finish talking.
Yeah.
That's actually a cool shot of the wizard thing.
Here, okay, I'm gonna show my like nerd cred. Was I the only one who picked up on Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth in the like Emerald City, like doing their musical number as Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were watching because they're the two from the original like Broadway production? Was I the only person that thought that was cool?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I'm sure like
90%
of people who, I'm sure everyone but us definitely would appreciate that and go, yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
Oh, wait, who was from the original? You're talking about
Yeah, there's I don't know I don't know what the importance of the musical number is, but like when Glenda and Elphaba get to the Emerald City and they're just walking around and the two women like start having like a musical number nearby and like I don't know. I've watched this movie twice. I still don't know what the point of that musical number is, but like it's the tall woman, the tall brunette woman, the short blonde. That's the two actresses from the original Broadway iteration of Wicked. Kristen Chenoweth as Glinda and Idina Menzel as Elphaba.
Okay, so that is That's the witch who's going to get a house dropped on her, by the way, Zenger. The girl in the wheelchair, yes.
Okay, that was my question.
That's the witch's sister who's going to be murdered by Dorothy. That's right, been set up.
Who's a victim of Jeff Goldblum? No, that's
her wheelchair is like all
gears,
gears, right? She's got like a gear chair, right?
Like the train. So my question is this: is the Jeff Goldblum thing the reason it's more mechanical looking and everything? Is it? This is supposed to be presented as more of a play than an actual movie. Is that the reason, or is there actual like over the top CGI at moments?
Both.
Yeah,
a lot of CGI, but also a lot of like big Aussie looking, old timey looking things. And you get to know all about that hat. That hat is very.
Ooh, just to sort them into what their careers are going to be or something.
Yes, in the instance of one particular character, absolutely.
This Oz nightclub existed when Dorothy was in Wizard of Oz. There's just things where I'm like, wait, what do they have like these totally modern 2025 looking half kind of things? That shot.
Yeah, that's not really too appropriate, that shot.
There's one if you go back.
Whoa, yeah, go back. That's a movie magic.
No, go back 2 more. Yeah, there.
That guy?
What? No. One more over.
Okay.
There. Okay. What's up with the 2 fingers?
That's the satanic thing. They're definitely triggering to their master.
Hollywood stuff. Got it.
The full picture, she's looking like she does that thing.
Yeah.
I will say, the Ginger Man character is 100% just a superfluous character, right?
He's every munchkin, and he has to. Oh man, wait! So his girlfriend is the other witch, right? So he starts. Yeah. He's with the witch's sister. Yeah. Now I need to see. Now I'm like, well, how does the other girl become a witch? God damn it! Now I'm getting sucked into this.
You're getting invested.
I am. I'll be there in November. I'm marking the days. Let's do it.
All right. Is there anything else we want to say about Wicked, or do we already kind of bled the joke dry?
The mirror is clearly gaslighting the queen.
Is that a YouTube comment or your own commentary, Zenger?
Yes.
I kind of like this now. Let's see how I send out Cinemoddities is so much fun. We just do so much Star Wars. Maybe we shouldn't mention any more Star Wars. But actually, thanks for doing this. I know, I will definitely give a shout out to Christina for sticking with me through this whole thing. Hold on, she's in here. I want to tell you, Chris. You know the guy in the movie in Wicked? He's gonna be the Scarecrow. She went, okay.
It's like good old fashioned like Ellie level commentary back in the OG levels. Like, Ellie, what?
Ellie, good.
You know, the guy from Wicked will turn into the Scarecrow.
Yo,
she
how
has
about that
Batman Scarecrow.
How about that part in the original movie where the monkeys just like start ripping apart the Scarecrow and throwing him all over the place, and then they have to like recollect his guts later on. Hardcore.
That's the unrated DVD cut of Wicked Part 2.
Apparently, my cat's bothered by.
I got to see how this man becomes made of straw. I mean, there's lots of things I need to know now.
You have to make sure she continues to defy gravity, Russ. That's the most important question.
I'll have to watch that one again. By the end of it, it was getting a little rough. I'm getting lost in these production pictures too. I'm lost. I'm like, wait, what movie is this we're doing now?
Chris, you got to slow that projector down, Chris. You're kind of like, it's just like, Chris is like, can't stop, won't stop.
Wow.
All right, Zenger, do you have any more YouTube comments, or are you done?
Don't cry because it happens. Smile because it's over.
That's also a really good one. Oh my God. All right. So concludes this episode of Knights of Vader, a Wicked podcast. Check out the Facebook group. Type in Knights of Vader in the Facebook, and you'll find us there waiting for you. Also, at KOV Podcast on Instagram, show Chris how much you love Wicked. If you like what you hear, please rate, review, subscribe to us on iTunes or Spotify. Please pound that 5-star like button. We would appreciate it greatly. Thank you to An Insperiority Complex for providing our theme song. Check out the show notes to hear more from them. But when you are not eagerly awaiting the events of Wicked Part 2, Zenger, where can people find you?
And they can find me trying to convince Disney that this movie should have been made straight to VHS.
Universal.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Snow White.
Oh, God. Damn it. Wrong.
All right, Russ, when you are not waiting for a paraplegic victim to be crushed by a house, what are you up to?
No, that's all I ever do. That's all I've ever wanted to do. No, check out Unbelievers Podcast. Newest episode's out about haunted Scotland. Go check that out. It's about a man who talks to fairies. More to come. Thanks.
Chris, when you are not like feeling the ADD hard as you go through the IMDb slideshow of Wicked, what can we find you up to?
Oh man, I just like the Foundry, they were throwing some coal on the old engine fire for the Knights of Vader Instagram. We're gonna watch Andor season 2 and Alien Earth. We'll probably do podcasts about both of those.
Oh, 100% Alien. Like,
yeah,
Steak at the Rainforest Cafe season 2, but Alien content, we can't ignore that here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about halfway through rewatching Andor season 1, and like I forgot.
It was perfect.
I forgot how good Hedonism Bot is. Like they're like Mon Mothma's marriage might be like the most interesting thing in contemporary Star Wars. It's weird how that came to be a reality.
And serial scenes.
Yeah, he's like the whole the stuff with his mom, could take or leave it. But like the one episode where like his whole life just turns into absolute garbage, and like he gets disappointed like heavily like 5 times in a row on the job. That's pretty good.
When he makes that speech, it's one of the like I can't wait to see what happens to him in season 2.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Tony Gilroy's like saying he's like popping off a little bit, saying stuff that's not PR approved. So like I'm excited. It's gonna be good. But yeah, man. So just look forward to at least 2 more Knights of Vader episodes this year.
I thought you were gonna say next month. It's April. We're just starting. Yeah, for sure.